Hi, Pisces. I have your reading for you. I am all set and ready to go. I have the cards out. And what I'm seeing in your underlying energy and where I'm starting off, I see that there's something you're walking away from. And it might be something tangible, but it feels more like it's a mindset, perhaps, a feeling of lack, a feeling of being held back in some way, because in your underlying energy, you also have this bondage card. So you have this walking away and this bondage. And it does feel as though, based on the cards on the table, there have been things that have caused you potentially to feel held back, whether they be internal or external to you. But that does seem to be what you're walking away from. And I'm also seeing in your underlying energy this amazing gratitude that you're holding in your hands and that's guiding you. It's sort of like I'm seeing this card like this is your hand, this is your gratitude, and you're walking through a dark forest while that little bubble is floating in front of you and you're just sort of following it. It's your guide. Gratitude is your guide. And love as well, because then I have love as the answer. So this seems to be something that is perhaps like a little bit of an awakening moment or a moment of freeing yourself so that you can move forward. I don't want to call it little. I said little, but it's not, because you have at the start of your reading the wheel, which is a major signifier that it's the start of a new season, a new chapter, that when the wheel turns, something major is shifting in our lives. This person standing on top of the wheel, just, they look free. It looks like how it might look if you are freed from this feeling finally. It's like this celebration. This new season feels like a celebration. I've been getting a lot of new season energy from all of the readings, really. And it really aligns with what's going on astrologically. I won't dive into all of that, but it's very much in alignment with what's going on astrologically. And then along with the wheel, which makes perfect sense, you have renewal and beginnings, two cards signifying this fresh start energy. What's so powerful too is like in all three of these cards, there are these spheres. It's this guide I was talking about, this gratitude. Love and gratitude is your guide. Where before, when maybe it was feeling more like this, it might have felt really hard to access that vibrational state, but it is your natural state. So this wheel turning really allows you, or has allowed you, to find this gift and to move forward on your path with it. It's really amazing. And then what comes along with that in your first row is rising star. This has come out a couple of other times. So it feels like there are quite a few people in this collective that the time is right for you to step forward into the light, into the spotlight I'm getting. You've done so much of the work in the background to prepare you for that. But this wheel turning feels like an ushering in of a season, of a time on your timeline that is going to involve you stepping into the light, which is very exciting. But you've had to leave something behind in order for this to be available to you, because if you hadn't walked away from whatever this is, you wouldn't have been able to step forward into this new season. That was a really key piece, leaving behind this allowed in the gratitude and the love. What you're being asked to do right now is innovate, make a plan, consider things from a new angle. If there's something that you've always thought about doing but felt stuck in the past, this tells me that it might be time to revisit that, but from a set of fresh eyes, asking yourself, how could I do this differently? How can I tap into my uniqueness here and really allow that in alignment with gratitude and love to guide me forward, to pave that path forward that I'm already walking, being guided by that light that we were talking about. And then in your next row, I really see a lot of reinforcement about the importance of you recognizing that you are so loved. It really echoes this love is the answer message, but it's directing it at you. In this row, the message wants to come forward that it's important that you receive this love too. Not just that you adopt a mindset of love, but that truly healing and freeing yourself from any leftover entanglements with this previous season is going to require you to let the love in. Maybe there's a little bit more work to do here, because you have this love offer in Ace of Cups, which is really similar energy. It is this, it's being handed to you. It's saying, here's some love for you. This is for you. And then it comes along with this beautiful creation energy, which says two things to me. When you tap into the heart space, which is what this is, this gift of love, it's like fuel for your heart space. When that is fully fueled is when we're going to be our most creative, because our creative energy comes from that place. But this card is also giving me a second layer in its message to you today. It's a message to your inner child, and specifically from mother-related wounding. I'm really focusing on this maternal energy in this card today, and this child, and what I'm getting from that is a lot of maternal love messaging. Either the need for you to be open to receiving and healing that area, or an acknowledgement that you've already started to do that work. That would be really powerful inner child work that maybe has unlocked this process for you already. But even if you've already done that work, this reading is wanting to reinforce that idea that please take this love, please take this message that you are loved, and please hear it from the divine feminine, from the maternal. It seems to want to speak to maternal wounding, I guess is what I'm saying. And then along with that, I have you are never alone. And so that's another reason why the maternal aspect of this was really shouting at me, because our relationship with our primary caregiver when we're growing up, which is often our mom, our relationship with them in the earliest moments, in the earliest days, weeks, and months, sets the stage for our attachment security. And if we don't really have a sense of strong attachment security that's established when we're young in that early, usually maternal mother-child dynamic, we will often feel like we are alone. We will often feel like we are not safe and secure in our sense that we are held, that we are lovable, that we are enough, that we are worthy. So this message coming along with this, really to me, as a therapist who has really spent many years studying attachment, is speaking to attachment wounding specifically. And the antidote for attachment wounding is absolutely love. It is steady, consistent, reliable messages of love that we allow ourselves to internalize. And really, while it can be so powerful to do that in dynamic with others, with a loved one, with a partner, with a life partner, it is extremely powerful to do this interiorly with spirit. And it seems to be that's the energy that's wanting to come through and kind of land in your hands, guiding you forward. Then your next row speaks a little bit more about that inner child. For me, this is an inner child card. This child is crying. This is sort of like that wounded energy. It's funny because you have two cards here crying in your reading. This one was in your underlying energy. So this is like the grown-up version who's feeling really held back by this wounding, or by a relationship or a situation that has emerged out of that wounding. And this is the inner child that is underneath all of that, that is waiting to receive this healing, or that recently has, depending on where you are in the timeline of all of this. And then along with that child card in this row, I have obstacles, the Knight of Wands, and order. These three combined are saying something very specific to me that's very relevant to inner child healing. What I'm specifically seeing in this combination of cards is that there is this side of you It is very childlike. This card is really lit up and really brings out a feeling of like wild abandon. There's a horse in the background. It's just jumping around crazy. There's this girl playing the drums. She's kind of tossing her hair around. She's just letting herself be wild and free the way that kids want to be. But if we have a core wound that sought to shut this down, it would feel very much like this hovering energy that sort of puts out that fire. And so in this example, that creates this inner child who's just really grieving, who's really hurting the loss of that inner light, that natural inborn spirit, which is the root of all creation. It's at the heart of all of our magic. And this is really like potentially stifled by order. Even in adulthood, this wounding lingers. There are so many adults out there walking around with so many gifts that have been put out and buried by this idea that was maybe imposed when they were younger and that is now very internalized, that contains a message that sounds something like, you're too much, quiet down, your ideas are silly, messaging that is not compatible at all with believing in your magic. And over time, that creates obstacles for sure. It makes it really impossible to feel like you have anything substantial to offer to the world. It would leave you feeling really chained down to a life that does not honor your spirit. But it feels like that's what you're healing. That's the journey that you've been on, that you're walking away. You're leaving those chains behind here, or you're leaving behind something big in your life that manifested from the energy of those chains, of that way of looking at life. So what I have in this last row is a really powerful message about what's going on for you right now. Essentially, what I see is with these two cards, Enamor and Ancestors, I'm seeing that you're getting a big message of love from your ancestors, from your guides. That's this, right? That's this beautiful energy coming through. That is this, you are never alone, maternal healing, this amazing message that we love you. You're never alone and you've never been alone. But along with that, what I'm hearing is that this work that you're doing is also liberating them. It's ancestral healing that's happening here. You might even be the first in your family to ever really try to walk this journey. So you're liberating everyone who came before you, but you're also serving as an example for everyone who comes after you. This is a true soul journey. That's what came along with that. It's a soul journey of self-love. And it's apparently such a powerful journey that all of this came through with the Tower card. The Tower is a really powerful card that represents an old structure coming down. A structure that's been around for a long time. It's crumbling. It's no longer relevant in your life. It needs to come down because you're going to be building something new, or you've already started to do that. This energy can feel really disruptive and disorienting though. So if you're feeling that way right now, please know that you're right on track. That is what happens when an old foundation crumbles. Even if it's just a foundation of a mindset or a foundation of a thought pattern or a way of looking at the world, that's a structure in our minds that has been functioning for a long time that needed to come down in order to build something new, a new way of approaching life, a new way of thinking about yourself in the world. But in the meantime, it can feel really disorienting when the Tower is coming down. It can feel like, who am I even? So when I was looking at the self-love card that came along with it, what struck me is how fertile the ground will be with that Tower coming down. Because look at the flowers just kind of growing in this space here. The whole crown chakra is blooming. It's like the Tower coming down and the wheel turning unlocks something in you that allows your whole crown chakra to become very fertile in terms of its ability to receive powerful new messages, to receive powerful guidance, to engage with the divine in a whole new way. And that's echoed in this card to me that also came in your final row. This card to me always symbolizes the balancing act of being grounded in 3D life and in the world, and also connected with the divine. This is the balancing act that you might be feeling right now. While you're in the in-between, the liminal space between when the old structure once existed that has now come down and before the new structure is built, it can kind of feel like you're juggling in this in-between. You're walking this fine line. It's so striking to me that in both of these cards, she has this downward gaze as though she's very much tuned in, tapped in to her own experience. This feels very on target with the energy that you need to be in right now. In both cards, she has 2 feet firmly planted on the ground, and yet she's deeply tapped in spiritually. And that is a very abundant place to be sitting right now. Regardless of where you are in the process, know that this is part of your soul journey. It's a very important step, a very important time for you. Your reading is really beautiful. I hope it feels that way, and I hope that something landed for you that feels helpful, something that speaks to your experience right now in this moment in time. I'm going to get you an angel number, and then we'll be ready to wrap up your reading. Oop. Okay, I have 3366. God helps good people. Beautiful, satisfaction, protection, focus, and kindness. Your angels are helping you to manifest the materials needed to fulfill your divine life mission. Whether it is tuition fees or channels for teaching or therapeutic work, the angels are assisting in bringing it to you. They want you to know that you deserve this help, which will enable you to give more to others. This help, this love offer, but also perhaps help in a really tangible way. Either way, it seems like it would be assistance to help you get around these obstacles, whatever they may be. I love that as a way to wrap up your reading. I'll leave it here. I hope it was helpful for you. If it was, leave behind some of your beautiful energy by hitting the like button or dropping me a comment or subscribing. It's such a powerful way to help me to attune more deeply to your energy and incorporate it into future readings and things like that. It also means so much so I can grow the channel, which means the world to me. Take the very best care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.